Hello friends, Buddhism is such a huge subject, but can't we learn Buddhism in a simple and practical way without going into all those canonical sutras? Actually, we can do it. The central part of Buddhism, the central teaching of Buddhism is Paticca Samutpada. If you can learn and understand Paticca Samutpada, then it is learning the totality of Buddhism, the entirety of Buddhism. Today, in this video, I am going to demonstrate Buddhism in a simple and practical manner so that you can learn and understand the entirety of Buddhism without going into any suttas, innumerable number of suttas. So let us do it now. In order to do that, I have brought here two bundles of pencil. You can see that. Actually, this is based on a teaching by Reverend Sariputta, one of the closest disciples of Buddha in Buddha's time. He used two bundles of firewood to explain the Paticca Samutpada or Dependent Origination. Practically, I cannot bring here two bundles of firewood. To replace that, I have brought two bundles of pencil resembling those bundles of firewood. Now let us do some experiment to demonstrate this profound and philosophical central teaching of Buddhism using these two bundles of pencil. Okay, let's start. So, according to Buddhism, according to Buddha, this is how Paticca Samutpada works. Buddha says, Imasmin sati idang hoti, imasmin asati idang na hoti. When this is present, this comes to be. When this is absent, this doesn't come to be. In other words, when this exists, this comes to be. When this does not exist, this doesn't come to be. This is the simple formula behind Paticca Samutpada or the central teaching of Buddhism. Now you can see these two bundles of pencil leaning against each other, helping to each other, they exist. So this is exactly how the universe works, how this world works according to Buddhism. Like these two bundles of pencil, they lean against each other, and doing so, they interact with each other, and through interaction, they exist. If you take one bundle away, then the other one falls. You can see that. That is why when this is there, that comes to be, Buddha said. So what does it mean? Buddha wanted to show that none of these bundles, none of the parts of the duality is independent. That neither part is independent. He wanted to show that. Actually, Buddha in another sutta called Kacchanagotta Sutta, he said, the world is driven by a duality, existence and non-existence. This duality is existence and non-existence. So, existence is there because non-existence. Non-existence is there because existence. In that sutta, Kacchanagotta Sutta, it's a very important sutta. Actually, that is the one sutta even philosopher Nagarjuna used in his Mula Madhyamika Karika to elaborate Sunnyata or emptiness. So it's a very important sutta. So it is in that sutta Buddha said that the world is driven by a duality. So this is that same duality you can see even in the Paticca Samutpada. So imasmin sati idang hoti. So that is this duality. Now you can see neither part is independent. That is why Buddha said The world is dependent. That is why paticca samutpada, dependent origination. In order to originate, they depend on each other. So this is the reality even around us. Like in science, when there is a particle, there is an antiparticle. Now for example, man and woman, that is another duality. Through interaction of man and woman, we can see a child is born. So like that, if you closely monitor our surrounding, so everything depends on another. So this is the universal interaction. It is this universal interaction that facilitates the eternal creation of this universe. So Buddha wanted to demonstrate in Paticca Samutpada actually how this universe works through this interaction. In these two bundles of pencil, you can see neither part is independent too, because one anticipates the other in order to ensure its existence. That means it is dependent on the other. What does it mean? That is, there is no substantiality in neither part of this duality. There is no substantiality, there is no substance. Because if one part anticipates the other for its existence, that means it does not have a substance, does not have a substantiality. So that is why if you take one off, the other falls. It is this teaching, it is this logic that leads to another important teaching in Buddhism, that is Sunnyata or emptiness. So if these two bundles of pencil anticipate each other in order to exist, neither part is independent. That means there is no substantiality. The fact that they are not substantial means that they are devoid of any substance. They are devoid of any substance. If there is any substance, so one part should be able to stand on its own. But they cannot. They cannot. They anticipate the other's help to exist. So that means neither part is independent. So they are dependent on each other. So the dependent origination, dependent interaction. So that is the emptiness of this world. Emptiness is nothing other than being devoid of any substantiality, devoid of any self. In Western science, thing in itself is not there. That is what Buddha basically said. I think by this time you might definitely have understood the very essence of Paticca Samutpada. In another video, we will discuss, we will cover the implication of Paticca Samutpada or dependent origination and what Buddha expected to teach out of Paticca Samutpada, the social impact of Paticca Samutpada, and also how can we live a very joyful and calm life in this distressful world by understanding Paticca Samutpada. So until then, I thank you for watching this video.